to wait on her. But like I was
I'm
saying,
listening. I gotta
moving
do
on
something real quick.
time. Go. Yes, he is.
Developing right now at 6 o'clock, the family of the missing 12-year-old girl celebrating the news that she was found safe. Now, the focus is shifting to a man that police arrested after he was found with the girl. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Keith Garvin. HPD says she was found in Columbus, Texas, which is roughly an hour and a half away from where she was last seen. KPRC2's Rowan Balogun is live in Missouri City, where the family awaits her return. Rowan.
Keith, Daniela, first we want to share exactly how we are covering this moving forward. Out of an abundance of caution, we are no longer identifying the 12-year-old or using her image as we learn more about the investigation and the arrest of a 27-year-old man. 27-year-old Sir Terrion Preston arrested in Columbus. The police department sharing on Facebook he was found with the missing 12-year-old girl who triggered an Amber Alert this week.
You got your baby.
The sixth grader's family celebrating she was found safe.
I've been waiting to see it.
As the investigation continues, Jacqueline Oludo is with nonprofit No Traffic Zone.
I would tell parents to do today is make sure that your child's phones, any digital devices are being tracked so that you understand the content and the people that they're talking to. And then I would sit down and I would have a really serious conversation with them.
She recommends Bark, which monitors the content kids are seeing. The prices range from $6 a month to $40. You can use it on Apple and Android devices. A free option is Life 360, which tracks each family member's devices and allows parents to retrace where their child has visited.
All of those apps are very important because they're going to notify you of what your child is doing. I like the phone where there's no internet because then your child can always be in contact with you, but they're not getting targeted by algorithms. They can't go on social media.
Now, Jacqueline also recommends families coming up with a safe word or even an emoji to use in a group conversation or text message, alerting everyone that someone needs the other person's help. And Columbus.
So, yeah, with these stories like this, it's really sad and it's really unfortunate, and it's shady as hell, But what I would say is that it's really beyond using these devices or not giving the kids a device or having device not on the internet or having the tracking system on their device is having a relationship with your child. You know what I mean? Knowing where they are, I'm willing to bet that this kid, they said a safe word on there or whatever, but the kid is choosing to do this thing that they're doing, having a conversation with someone or whatever, and going to a place where they're not supposed to go or whatever to meet someone that their parents or whatever, friends don't know this person or whatever. Like they're doing it behind their parents and their family's back or whatever. If you have a relationship with your child, if don't make them
they're
hate
doing
you,
it for attention.
So exactly, that's exactly where I'm going with this. It's like if I can't see this happening with one of I have two daughters. They come in my room and talk to me about random ass stuff that, a lot of times maybe I don't care to hear about it. And then they also tell me about stuff that, some parents they wouldn't feel comfortable talking to their parent about it. They talk to me about literally everything. You know what I'm saying? That I have this relationship with them and open communication with them. I totally don't see them a lot of these kids, they're trying to escape their situation. You know what I'm saying? They're miserable at home. Their parents treat them some kind of way. They don't pay attention to them. They're being neglected. So they're looking for love in all of the wrong places. And that's where a 12-year-old girl ends up in a car with a 27-year-old guy in another city or state or whatever the hell. And yes, they could be killed. It's another story where they just found the body of a 13-year-old girl. Story that is, it was just on my timeline, but she was killed. So there is danger out there, but we're using these tracking devices and not wanting to give them a phone or having the phone on no internet, all of that stuff as a scapegoat to keep you from having a freaking real relationship with your child, actually doing work that it takes to talk to them like every day and knowing where they are mentally and what they're thinking about and what they're trying to do, and redirecting them by knowing where they are mentally. If you just want to shut them off in the room and don't pay no attention to them and do your own thing or whatever, then that's where you're going to have your child not knowing where I always know where my kid is at, like always. She knows even if she made a bad decision and ended up in a bad situation, she can call me and I'm coming. I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to ask no questions. we're going to have a real conversation about it afterwards. But when she calls me and tells me she's in a situation, but I'm on my way. Like, that's first, and she knows this. She knows she can call me. She's not going to be afraid to call me, even if she made a bad decision and ended up in a messed up situation, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's the same groundwork. I mean, because like I say, well, you already know how me and Lil Pat is. So, I mean, look, I coach him on how to handle a lot of these different situations, like, giving them play by play. So, I mean, I'm sure he varies, based on his own thing, but either way, it's just like these conversations do have to be had. You have to show them, your interest is, because I mean, you can't be there all the time, but they can know that you are, your heart is there all the time. And that's really, I think that like one of the things, like when situations like this, I think there's a lot of uncertainty with some of these kids, and they don't, a lot of parents are not really vocal about their own feelings. Like they don't even like talk to themselves to even know how they really feel, or to discuss, like they don't know how to have these discussions with themselves, let alone have that discussion with, their child to, affirm them, to make sure that whatever they're going on with, because I mean, I really feel like a lot of these things that these kids are getting distracted with by society is because like you're not having enough conversation with them from childhood. Like, I mean, I'm saying, because of course, like I'm talking about early, like toddler, you know what I'm saying? Like showing your presence and letting it be known how, where you stand all the time, reaffirming all the time.
Yeah. So comments. It's the first one. It says, get your kids off the web. And, it is dangerous. And I really hate TikTok because of the freaking mental impact it has on the children or whatever. But I don't agree with, just trying to keep them off the internet, because they're going to find a way. A lot of us think that we understand, what, like they understand the internet better than us. They understand all of this technology much better than us. So we think we know, but we don't. If you think you can keep your kids off the web, you can't.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, you can, but you're probably hindering them more than you are helping them, because for one, like the rest of the world is still going on and happening, and you don't want them to get to, because I've seen too many times when people who have been like, let's just say, like I'm gonna use the example of kids that go to private schools, that they're so out of touch of what the kids that go to public schools are engaging in, and conversations and this, whatever, to where that like they feel like they're missing out, and then as soon as they get a chance to,
they're gonna wow the F out.
Then
they're not gonna know.
They wild.
They're not gonna know what's going on. They're gonna
I have too many guys that I grew up with, or grew, in my neighborhood that I grew up in, that went to private schools and didn't realize, how good they had it, and they thought that, okay, me going to the public school, oh, that was the cool thing, like that was, oh, they ain't going blah blah blah, and they had both their parents at home, and like supportive and this, that, and the other, and then they grow up and want to be drug dealers or
Yeah.
live a life of crime because this is exciting. No, it's not, because people who had to grow up in situations like that is doing everything they can to get away from it
Yeah, you got to expose them to a certain amount of stuff so that they're
and
able to
navigate.
protect themselves. It's kind of like your immune system with the dirt and stuff. You know how like a lot of like parents try to keep their kids from any dirt, like playing in the dirt, like put them in a bubble,
Yeah.
to keep them from getting sick or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Well,
that's really making their immune system weaker because they're not exposed to those, toxins or whatever, and their body hasn't had a chance to build
yeah.
up the defenses to it. And the same thing with your mind, and if you're not exposed to all of this stuff, like the ads, the attacking stuff, like how a lot of families just kick their kids out at 18 and now they got to pay their own bills and find their own way. And the world is just going to eat them up because they don't know all of this stuff that's coming at them, all of a sudden. They don't know how to deal with it. They haven't built up the defenses. Like me and you, we had a conversation before on the show about, the scams, like so much stuff is scams. And, when you're younger, you don't know that. And as you get older, it's a scam because you've been through it before. Like,
Yeah, like
they got
look,
you.
I went through it enough. Like just trust me that when I tell you that this is not right, look, just please believe me. Like,
Yeah, I
we
know it
can we can
sounds good and it
yeah.
seems legit. It's just I've been down this road, and whenever they use this particular set of words, it's pretty much 99% of the time gonna be a scam. So
And
save yourself the trouble.
my whole point of what I was saying was mainly to say that you're better off, instead of trying to neglect them, get them to stay away from internet and this, that, and the other, is to teach them how to navigate certain things. Like, I
Right.
mean, there's things like you can teach them how, look, hey, this is incognito. Like, you can go on and they not know who you are. You can do, like there's different things, as far as how to deal with people who try to, whether it comes to bullying or trying to persuade you for this, that, and the other. Like, give them the game. Like, and it's like, look,
That's what I do.
don't, what I'm saying?
This is what's gonna
Let them know
it's
you ain't got no bitch in your heart. Like, what I'm saying? Like,
and
look,
you didn't been through it and you didn't see the streets and you know what they're going, what's out there in the streets. So if they know what's out there in the streets, they're not gonna be so like romanticized by it and want to be out there in it. It's like I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's gonna be. Like exactly. And these people that's out there in the streets don't want to be out there, bro. They all want to be in here where you at in this boring, stable situation. Let me read a couple more comments. It says again, why is a kid allowed to leave at that time of night? Parents. Good question. It says lately seems like I've been getting an Amber Alert every day. I'm glad she was found safe. Yeah, man, these Amber Alerts, we get them so much they don't even have any impact. I just ignore them every time. I just assume it's the dad and the mom is, called the police because the dad kept the kid over the amount of time he was supposed to, based on his child support. I mean, his the order related to, you have a specific time period where you have to drop the kid back off with the parent and all of that. And like, I swear to God, most of those cases, when it's a small baby, most of the time that is what it is. The mom is like the dad didn't bring the kid back in time, and I'm calling the police.
Well,
and then you get an Amber Alert. It's like the kid is with his dad.
I'm gonna plug this once because my candidate of choice, that is one of the things that's on his agenda, is to set up hot points where like set up in every city these things that's set up for getting the child with no rest. Like they gonna do everything. Like they're actually setting up some kind of a system that is going to keep us from losing these kids the way that we've been losing them. So like that's one of another reason why I'm supporting. I'm not going to totally do it on your show, but
yeah,
that candidate he's getting kudos from me because of some of those things that he's really doing that nobody else is attempting, because
Yeah.
they both play in the other side.
Let me read this one. It says it's a miracle they managed to find her. Usually if they do find the kidnapped child, it's after they were murdered. Another one, it says the mother definitely needs to be arrested for neglect. Also, she said her daughter took a walk a few hours before 1:30 a.m. The F? What time was that, lady? You letting your 12-year-old walk alone at any time of the night? Pathetic. And that's like what I was saying before about like actually having a relationship with your child and knowing what the hell they're up to. Like what is going on? Like what are you trying to do? Like what is going
Shit,
on?
my kid knows, like, I mean, of course he knows not. He ain't gonna ask, but he ain't even gonna attempt to do anything like that because, like, he know he's gonna have to deal with me, and like the actual dangers that could come along with that is not a good enough. It's not worth risking. It's like he's smart enough to realize, like,
Yeah, my kid ain't never snuck out of the house either. Like, they really want to go do a thing, then I'm gonna try to allow them, if I can, I'll take you to the place or whatever to do the thing, whatever. Like, I'm gonna be involved in it, so you don't have the reason to try to sneak out.
Or hell no, you'll never be involved in that on my watch. Like there are like barriers they cannot cross. Like, I mean, look, it ain't no democracy at my house. It's dictatorship. And you can either roll with with what I'm saying, or you can roll with what I'm saying.
Well, there's a number of them.
By you personally not having the evidence, I'm not going to just sit here and say that, he got a point.